Hello, people. I'm on the wrong side here because James has taken over my side. And it is time for me to talk about what's going on with the show with James. And this is not an easy day for me because it's kind of a sad day, but it
Yeah.
has to be done. James, how you doing today?
Hey, I'm doing really well. I have the same sentiment, Lee. This has been a great ride for the last year, and, we've been able to do a lot that a lot of people didn't think was possible. So I'm just very appreciative of the friendship and just being able to um, be on this journey.
Yes. And well, James, myself, you're a good friend. I have a few good friends on here, not many.
Yeah.
Yourself, Angel Gotti, and after that, I don't know if I have many others.
hmm
Acquaintances, yes. Tony B, another
Tony
person has
B's
helped
great.
me.
Yes.
Renee from San Fran, another guy that's always been there for me. But in general, I remember when I came on here originally, my life was a mess.
Mm.
Physically, I was a mess. Mentally, I was a mess. This show that I was building was a mess. And then here we are 3 years later. I'm moving over to and underneath here will be Wrestling with the Devil. That show is growing. I don't know if you've seen that, how quick that show's growing, but much quicker than this one. But this show has grown. And
Yes.
I'm going to put something up here I want people to see. And we're going to have some good stuff. We're going to talk about Joey Merlino. We're going to talk about the pitcher. We're going to talk about a bunch of stuff, people, mob stuff. But this is stuff that I just want to share. This is what we built here, and nobody can ever take it away, James. You and I did
Mm.
this over the last year, a little bit over a year.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you look at this right here, what you will see, this tells you the growth of this channel. And, this is real growth, people. And it's because we're putting up the stuff that people want to see between the community page, between the shorts, and between long form. James,
Yeah.
what do
I
you,
mean,
what do you have to say about that?
yeah, so I mean that's a really what it is. There's this formula that you have to go through, and it's not a lot of people don't know the formula, and you know it's just something that as we dug into this and started seeing, hey, we put up a short that's getting more views or whatever, then we started to realize kind of how to set up a channel and a strategy. And what YouTube wants is for viewer engagement, and so they're pushing the
Yes.
shorts, with to compete with TikTok and then the community page, And I'll tell you the photos that you've gotten, Lee, that we've gotten, they're awesome. I mean, I think that we get photos that no
And I
one's
like to
seen.
thank, and we got to give special thanks to Tony B because Tony B gets a
Yes,
lot of them. He's sending me some great wrestling ones too.
yeah,
Tony sends me things. Sometimes I'm like, wow, how did you find that? And then
yeah. Tony's
also,
great, man. He's such a wonderful part of this show and has been for this year, and so that's going to continue. Just
and
a
Tony's one of the
wonderful
quiet
man.
guys behind the scene. Every show should have that quiet guy behind the scenes that doesn't. He doesn't want anything to do with this insanity. Can we say we blame him?
No, no, we don't blame him, but he's very knowledgeable. He's a native New Yorker, great guy.
And I want to show you the growth of this show right here. You'll see that we average anywhere from yesterday 34,000, 22,000 the day before that, 39,000. These are views per day, people. This is what we do per day. When I first came on here, my goal was to stay above 1,000 views a day, and I think about that now.
Wow.
And so you know what to do when you're going on. Like I developing this new channel. It's like this channel has taught me. This has been my school, and you
Yes.
take what you learn here to another channel. And the main reason I'm leaving here is because uh, I felt like I needed something different. I'm not one of those guys that just hangs around. I always like change. A reason people say, "Hey, Lee, you've been everywhere in this country. You've been arrested here, here, and here." Yeah, because I
Yeah.
got bored. I
Yeah.
figured if I was going to be arrested, I was going to a new place.
Yeah.
I wanted to explore the jail systems.
Yeah.
But anyway, with that, James, and listen, I'm not putting those numbers up to brag, James. I'm putting up
No.
those numbers to show what hard work does. That anybody can do it on YouTube. If this old man can do it, and this guy right here who does not want to be, did not have no desire to be on camera, come on here. He didn't realize you didn't realize, James, your skills that you had, and then when you did realize your skills, you put them to use.
Yeah,
And
and I appreciate that, and you helped me a lot, guiding me through this, giving me confidence because it's not easy to get behind a camera if you're not used to it, and so I had a lot of just concerns like of my voice. I'm not from New York. How are people going to accept that? So I worried about stuff that really wasn't important. And at the same time, you've been able to really help me with understanding how this YouTube thing works, how you have to put out good content, what people want. It's just there's so much involved. I mean, anyone that looks at this, they think, oh wow, we just put up we just spend 30 minutes on a show and that's it. No, I mean it's hours and hours, but it's fun and
yeah,
the research I enjoy and I'm just appreciative really of all the people that's part of our community that's given us a chance and I'm going to continue to engage with everyone like we are now and I think it's going to continue to grow.
yes, it is, and it's got lots of fun here. I mean,
Hmm.
you got some stuff going on, and we're going to get into and this and people. I just at the end of the show, I'm going to thank some people
Okay.
that have been part of this. But right now, we're going to get on to the show, and we're going to talk about this month in the mob genre.
Yes.
And this month in the mob genre, how would you say it's been so far? You
Yeah.
gave me this. You
Well.
gave me this list. You gave me this list on my phone that I'm about to pull up,
Hmm.
and we're going to start from the top. But it's been a crazy month, hasn't it,
Oh
James?
my goodness. Yeah, it's a crazy month. Definitely the mob's not dead. It's been crazy from just this whole YouTube mob genre, but also stuff actually happening outside in the life. So I mean, it's been really an interesting month to say, and seems like Joey Merlino's been kind of in the middle of a lot of it.
Yes. And starting with Joey Merlino, I'm going to say one thing. This is going to be, this ain't a hit. I'm not attacking this person, but I'm like saying, dude, really, chill the fuck out already. Whoops, I cursed. Okay. Bernstein on the mob can't have it two ways. Let me tell you something. And here's the main reason I'm doing this, Scott Bernstein, is because you made some ridiculous statements that really you shouldn't be making. Okay, you're talking. First of all, you're talking about Barney Berlam. What's that? How do you say his last name?
Barbelomo. Belomo.
Belomo. Okay, so Belomo, how powerful? He's the most powerful guy in the United States. And first of all, if he is, you shouldn't even be talking about it. But and this is not a dislike for you, Scott. This is like you're saying some things that don't make sense. You originally said that you uh, when you first came in here, you had a show with Jeff Nadeau, and you both at that time called said that Joey Merlino was the boss of Philadelphia. That's what you said, and that he shouldn't be on here. But now you're saying something totally different. You're saying that the bosses in Philadelphia are mad at Joey, and that Belomo is sitting down talking to him. Let me explain something about these mobsters right now. The mob is like a tiny little segment, barely. They got TV cameras watching. Joey don't give two hoots what they say, and you got to get out of the '80s. You got to get out of the '80s because this is just a fairy tale in your mind, and I don't understand why you're going there with this.
Yeah, I mean
Uh,
things have just changed totally, and we're showing that with just even with Joey Merlino and what he's talked he talked to George Anastasia 10 years ago saying he was out of that life, and so the thing is you got to realize with Joey, regardless of how you feel about him or if you think he's the boss or not the boss, but the thing is the scrutiny on him. The government he is on the radar, and he's. I think he has to be careful, and that's the thing. Even legitimate, it's just there's just
Even when
you
you get
know,
out, you're never
yeah,
out, especially when you
no,
beat, he's beaten the feds many times.
and they don't like
And
that.
yeah, and you're always on that radar. And, but, like I said, I've done some things on this channel with Bernstein, but I'm sorry, Scott, I got to call you out on this one. This is getting ridiculous. That you're doing these shows and you're coming on saying that you heard this, and this. The mob's dead. It's barely alive. Joey don't give a shit. He ain't gonna listen to anybody. He's doing his thing. You don't see him running and hiding. If these guys are having meetings, it's by themselves in their backyard.
Yeah,
That's it. A couple
yeah,
guys with a few beers in their hand in the backyard. The mob is not what it used to be. It's a few guys in each family now, and committing white collar crimes. That's
yeah.
what it is. Okay, that's it. Scott Bernstein, you have a nice one. You do good work, but I just had to say that. Okay, so next we're going to talk about Joey going on Vlad. People are saying Vlad is an informant,
Hmm.
and that Joey will get jammed up. It won't. Okay, and basically, um, Joey answered a lot of mob questions with Anastasia. You were talking about that.
Yeah.
So, do you think him going on Vlad is a good or bad move, James?
Yeah, and so I'm looking at just from just being a content creator, someone trying to build a brand, and looking at Joey where he's at. So Joey has a company behind him. There's the people that did Entourage. That was there's a guy from there that's behind it. So they have a professional outfit, number one. And so the thing is that he's had an interest in the media. He's had an interest in, and what I mean by that is, either being in a scripted movie or about his life, or a show, or maybe a book. That's something that 10 years ago he's talking about. So the thing is that if he's wanting to get his name out there, it makes sense to go onto platforms that have wide exposure for him. And so that's why I think that it's a good move. If I felt that he couldn't handle the some sort of interview with him, or they would give up the ghost or whatever, none of that's going to happen. So I
Yeah.
think that it's going to help his brand. What his brand is he does a lot of stuff, but he's besides YouTube, he's in Patreon. He also does stuff. He's been involved in restaurants, all types of businesses. The guy's an
And let me ask you a
entrepreneur.
question real quick, James. That's
Yeah.
going to be like, I'm going to miss cutting you off. So I got to cut you off
No,
every once in a
no,
while,
that's fine.
You'll get people, let James talk. Don't cut him off. Okay. So let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
So do you think that Joey Merlino is going to go before Vlad or has gone before Vlad and bow to the informants?
No, no, not at all.
No,
I don't
that's
see
right.
that. I mean, no one tells Vlad what to say. I'm sorry, no one tells Joey what to say. And the thing is that Vlad, he just won't answer it, or he will just, he'll, he'll definitely let Vlad know what he thinks about that. But he's not going to get jammed up. No one else is going to get jammed up. It's really an opportunity to get in front of, a nearly a 6 million subscriber YouTube channel, and lots of people have been on it. Yeah, it's a lot of informants have been on it, but why is it that only informants can go on those big shows? Why is it only the informants are allowed to grow, their brand? I think it makes sense for Joey to be able to have that opportunity to go on there. I mean, you have to look at the benefits. He had to look at the benefits. I'm sure that him and his people talked about it a long time before they made that
Oh,
decision.
without a doubt. Yeah. Yeah. And people, I say this until you see the interview, until you know what was said, chill the hell out. And okay, so the
I have a
next thing,
question though, real
yeah,
quick on that. Do we know when the interview will actually be
it's
put
going to be
out?
on his Patreon page. I think this Saturday he's going to be showing some of it, and then
Okay.
I'm guessing that he's going to make some clips, and then Vlad's going to bring it out. That's what I'm guessing. But
Hmm.
basically, go to Joey's Patreon page. That will have the information there, and that's all I could say. Am I a shill for Joey Merlino? No, but Joey Merlino is the only one that really kept to his word about a lot of things,
Right.
about how he is.
Mhm.
I'm not friends with Joey. I know Joey. I could reach out to him and talk to him, no problem. But I'm not in his circle. I'll never be in that circle. I'm just
Right.
I am an entertainer, James. That's what I consider myself here, an entertainer. I don't consider myself a mobster or anything like that.
No.
Entertainer.
Yeah.
Okay, and so James, how about the
Yeah.
picture heard around the world? The picture.
Mhm.
Okay, we got to talk about the picture. There's always that big picture, but
Mhm.
then we get a picture that you see and you say, "Wow, this is some picture." And with that, I'm going to put up a video that I put up last night, James, and it's got a
Okay.
pretty picture in it, and
Okay.
it's some funny stuff. And I'm sure once Gene hears that he's wearing cheap clothes, he's going to say something because he has a $500 T-shirt on, I think. But
Yeah.
whatever. Here we go. But let's put this up.
Let's talk about that for a
Oh,
second.
the outfits.
Fat Andy.
Oh, that's fun.
What's his name?
Yeah,
Ruggiano?
Fat Andy's son. I don't know, something.
Wow.
He's an ex-junkie. He's a junkie, stone junkie. He's probably still getting high.
Did you see his outfits and what he talks about nothing?
Did you see that there was a picture somebody sent to me yesterday, the other day? It was Sammy the Bull, the Botox lips, whatever the fuck his name is, and Fat Andy's son, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
They look homeless.
Yeah, it looks like a TJ Maxx piece.
Listen, they look fucking homeless. I don't have the picture. If I had the picture,
we got to get
you'll
that
see
picture.
It.
Yeah, we'll put
They
that
called
picture
it,
in here.
they called it the Rat Pack.
Wow.
You got to see these fucking the outfits they got on. All their outfits cost $80.
Total.
Tops.
It's a
That's
TJ Maxx or Ross piece.
Worse. They look homeless.
Yeah, it's crazy. But like I said, this guy Andy now is talking about you.
I don't even know him too. Another motherfucker.
Listen.
Another fucking idiot. I met him one time. I knew his father. His father was a good man.
Yeah.
That's some entertaining shit right there. I'm sorry, people. That's what separates Joey Merlino from these other people. He's an entertaining bastard, boy.
Yeah.
I mean, excuse me, he's not a bastard, but he's an entertaining prick. Let's put it that way, because he can do some pricky shit.
Yeah, I mean that's something that people have to understand. That is that part of it's entertainment. I mean, part of it's the ability to be able to. He's just going to say what he's going to say, and we know that. I mean, he said something we didn't necessarily agree with, but he's going to say what he's going to say, and it's going to be entertaining. I'll tell you that, and probably a lot of profanity.
And to be fair to Anthony Ruggiano, even though I disagree with 90% of the stuff he says, we do know that he is clean and sober, and he's made that part of his life, and he deserves that credit. Okay.
Yeah, he does, and I know that he works with those that are facing addiction issues and all that, and God bless him on that, obviously.
And we know that Gene Barillo doesn't have Botox lips; those are real lips.
Those are real lips.
Those are real lips. And we know that Sammy will kill you if you have a business, and he wanted to take it over. This we do know. That's what we do know about Sammy Gravano. But that picture is one hell of. I'm playing that one more time before we go down to our next.
Let's talk about that for a second.
The outfits.
Fat Andy.
Oh, that's fun.
What's his name?
Yeah,
Ruggiano?
Fat Andy's son. I don't know, something.
Wow.
He's an ex-junkie. He's a junkie, stone junkie. He's probably still getting high.
Did you see his outfits and what he talks about nothing?
Did you see that there was a picture somebody sent to me yesterday, the other day? It was Sammy the Bull, the Botox lips, whatever the fuck his name is, and Fat Andy's son, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
They look homeless.
Yeah, it looks like a TJ Maxx piece.
Listen, they look fucking homeless. I don't have the picture. If I had the picture,
we got to get that picture. Yeah, we'll put that picture in here.
They called it the Rat Pack.
Wow.
You got to see these fucking the outfits they got on. All their outfits cost $80.
Total.
Tops.
It's a TJ Maxx or Ross piece.
Worse. They look homeless.
Yeah, it's crazy. But like I said, this guy Andy now is talking about you.
I don't even know him too. Another motherfucker.
Listen.
Another fucking idiot. I met him one time. I knew his father. His father was a good man.
Yeah.
And his father was the real deal. There's no doubt about it. At least, and Joey says that. And talking about fathers, I believe that the only time I've seen Joey kind of made a mistake here that he shouldn't have done, and I'll say it to this day, was with Sonny Francis.
Yeah,
and I'll stick with that. But
I'm with you on that. Yeah.
And Joey's an honest guy, and And we're being honest, and I always disagreed with the Sonny Francis thing. But once again, I don't think Joey gives a shit if I disagree with
No,
it
he
anyway.
doesn't care,
Yeah.
and
You don't
so
think
it's
that he's losing sleep over it?
yeah, right.
Okay. Okay. Now let's get to our next subject. Joey Testa getting released, Henry Borelli not, people like Vic Amuso not given compassionate release. James, go away at that.
Yeah, so yeah, the point on that is that I know that we've put up photos of Vic Amuso and many of those guys, and it's just the point that I just wanted to make on this is a lot of people are bringing up Henry Borelli. They don't understand why he's not given a chance to get out, but then you get Joey Testa and Anthony Center, and it's basically based on the laws that were before 1988. And so if you had a life bid, you were eligible for parole after 35 years. And so the government's position on those two guys is that they don't have a choice. They've got to let them go.
That's you just said it, James. They don't have a choice. It's like it's the 25. What is it? 2510, something like that.
yeah, exactly.
And they've done it. So when they originally sentenced these guys to 35 years, they didn't think like, oh wow, in 35 years they're going to still be alive.
They thought they would be dead. Yeah, they
yeah,
didn't. They didn't think that. And Borelli, what I saw looking at his case, and the one that really, Mob Talk Radio, I know, did a good show about that a couple of days ago. But basically, Borelli, he's not going to get out. He's tried compassionate release. It's just not going to happen. The government continues to say no way on that. The problem is that he got a 150-year sentence, and based on the rules of 1988, he has to serve at least 100 years. And then the other issue is that he had 15, I believe it was 15 counts of auto theft or whatever, because he was doing an auto theft ring, sending stolen vehicles to the Middle East. And anyway, it was 15 counts of 10 years each. Instead of having a concurrent sentence, which we see all the time with these guys, it was consecutive. So what that meant was, it was like the 15 counts, one on top of another. So the guy's not going to get out. But, I'm more concerned, Borelli, I'll tell you this, he was a stone cold killer. He wasn't convicted.
That boy got some bodies hanging around. That's for damn
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, definitely does. And so, but at the same time, based on the charges that he had, I think, they never proved the other stuff on him. So, you have to go with that. And
so he was better off saying, hey, listen, don't give me the car charges. Charge me with the murders.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. And so he was found not guilty there was a murders attached to the charge, but that part was either he's found not guilty, or there was some sort of appeal where they ended up getting it removed, but it really hurt his case. But, I'm more concerned on these compassionate releases, how, we as taxpayers are having to pay this huge medical expenses for people like Vic Amuso. Vic Amuso is he's got dementia. The guy is in poor health. I did something on the guy, Eddie Garofalo, how, the guy was blind, had a foot cut off, diabetes, strokes, heart attacks, all that stuff. And they said, oh, the guy was still a threat at 80 years old with all those conditions, so he couldn't get even a compassionate release. So, I think we need a little common sense with the judicial system, and I just don't understand, someone like Vic Amuso, 90-some years old or whatever, don't even probably know who he is not going to be allowed to, die with his family, and, we're going to continue to foot the bill.
Yeah. Yep. And it's unfortunate because that's not going to stop, is it?
No, it's not going to stop. The government just will not allow these mob cases. Those are gold cases for the government. They love the mob stuff. They put so much embellishment and fluff in it because they know that that's a way to get a lot of attention from the American public, because the American public's fascinated by it. And also it helps when they go before Congress for their budgets every year, saying, "Oh, look at what we've done. We need more money." And so, it's a big game, but I think you need to have a little bit of common sense with some of these. And none of these mobsters, or I'm not saying they're good guys or any of that. I'm just saying let's have a little bit of common sense, because they're not going to be, these guys in that condition aren't going to be back in the life. They're not going to do anything to harm anybody.
No, they're not. They're not able to. It's like
No.
look what they did with John Gotti in his final weeks of life. They
Oh my
they,
God.
they left him chained to a bed. I mean,
Yeah.
they didn't care.
Yeah, and
And
I'm
that's
going
just
to
what.
do, yeah, it's horror. I'm going to do a short or a show one time. There's the prison for the, so when a mobster is being sent to die, they send them to Springfield. That's where they all go. And so it's amazing the number of these mobsters that have died in Springfield, from Tony Salerno to John Gotti. It's just crazy to me, but that's what happens.
Yeah, they just rather. You mean? Are you saying the government
In
doesn't
the
know how to
chin.
save? Are you saying the government doesn't know how to save money? Come on.
Yeah. Yeah, no
Okay.
kidding.
Let's release murderers back out that could actually still murder, and
Yeah.
not the people sitting in wheelchairs that could say goodbye to their families.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, the Gemini twins, by the way, they're 69 years old, and they've got the potential to maybe live another 20 years of freedom if they stay out of trouble.
Exactly. And also, who was it? Okay, so there was just another Bernstein story. There was just another mobster released from prison,
Hmm.
and then Bernstein said that no one knows what the family has in store for him. The family has nothing in store for him. He's getting out of prison, and he's going to be. He's whoops. Well, let me get rid of this.
Yep.
Okay, so he. I don't. I got. I just got an iPhone, and I don't know how to deal with it. But anyway.
Yeah.
Uh, so when these guys get out of prison now, and if it's Angel Gotti explained this to me too. These guys cannot go back into that life. They're being watched. The minute they're with people that are felons or something, they get locked back up.
Yeah, they
So
can't. Their own
there's
lifetime
no
release.
positions for nobody. It's like, oh, it's what's his name? Gosh dang it, I can't think of his name right now. Lino, that just got out of jail. Little Lino, the
Yeah.
one that was in the picture with a great picture where he's sitting in a lunchroom.
Mhm.
We did a video on that with
Yeah.
Persico.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
So he's not doing nothing, Scott. He's not doing nothing. He's not going to be in no gang. There's no special spot for him. He's not taking over the family. He's going to be worried about going back to prison if he's shows up with one person. A matter of
Yeah.
fact, a couple of these idiots that did get out recently did go hang out with felons and when they went back to prison.
They are.
Okay,
I
end of
remember.
story.
Yeah, and I
Get out of
remember.
the 80s.
Well, and you see it. The media loves that. You just go back to Frank Cali when he passed away. It was a murder. It was horrible. And so, yeah, it just happened to be that Gene Gotti happened
Just got
to
out
be
and
getting out,
a few
and
months
so,
earlier.
is a move to take over the family. No, it wasn't. Gene Gotti wants to be left in peace, and he's not involved in any of that. Same thing with Joe Watts.
They watch these guys. They're not doing nothing. Carniglia, none of these guys. It's a joke. Do you get it? Okay. Any of these guys that come out of prison after doing long sentences, and if they commit a crime, they deserve to go back to jail because they are idiots.
Well, and you can't hang with, yeah, and that's part of and they have lifetime parole most cases, and even like Sammy Gravano's got lifetime parole, is my understanding, and so
Well, Sammy gets to do what he wants because he put away so many people, and the government blows him.
that's a good point. How's he able to be around?
Because he's an informant. No, the informants get
Yeah.
away. We're talking about guys that didn't inform that get out of prison. And if they mess up one time, they go back to prison. But the informants, they can get out and kill people, commit crimes, no problem. They could do whatever they want. They can have
No,
meetings.
you're right. Because
I mean, look at Look
It's
at the big
interesting.
meeting with that and that picture. You got how many crimes you got in that picture right there, and felonies, and whatever. But those
Yeah.
guys aren't under. Those guys can do whatever they want.
Yeah, I
Just
know
the
he
government
can't go
loves
to
them.
New York supposedly, and he can't leave the country. But
I'd love to. Wouldn't it be nice to see Sammy come back and visit people in Brooklyn
that's not
or
going to
Queens?
happen.
Yeah, okay.
Won't happen.
Uh, I heard some story that Jimmy Calandra just got beat into a fight or something. I don't know if that's true. I haven't looked into that. The old Lee would have looked into that and done a show on it already. So,
Oh
Jimmy, if you got
goodness.
beat up, I hope you're okay. But anybody knows the story of that fight, let me know. I have no
Yeah, I've
idea what
heard
the.
it's weird. Every once in a while, we get these stories that Jimmy Calandra got into an incident. I know there was one at a supposedly it was in a restaurant. I think either in Long Island or Staten Island, and I talked to the restaurant owner. They said it didn't happen. Of course, if it did, they're not going to tell me. But at the same time, it seems like every few months we'll hear some sort of story of Jimmy Calandra getting into a incident with someone. But I don't have any evidence of it.
Okay. And here's another interesting thing is Sammy Gravano
Mm.
going after Jeff Nadeau, showing up in OC shorts. Uh, we discussed it already, but let's discuss it a little bit again. I mean, uh, Sammy went after Jeff Nadeau, which is kind of funny. Jeff loved it because he got to do a show on it, got good numbers off it and stuff. And when Sammy seems pissed about something, he just doesn't shut up, does he?
No, and that's something I've heard many times with people, even like James Carroll was saying the same thing. It's just whenever something happens with Sammy, he won't let it go. He'll talk about it for weeks. And so he's just high strung. I mean, the guy is high strung and just has to realize that he's got a lot of, with his past plus being out there with a huge following, of course, he's going to be the target of people. We get targeted just because we're at a higher level. So, I mean, but it's how you deal with it, right? And Sammy just can't deal with it. And again, I feel it's a big mistake with him being on these lives. He just doesn't do well. You can contrast that. I'm seeing Michael Francis doing lives now, and he doesn't really do as much as he kind of controls himself a little more than Sammy.
Whoops.
Uh-oh.
What the hell? Why isn't this coming on? Oh, it wouldn't come. I'm trying to. 1 second. Okay, let's see. I just got to play this because it's a going away gift to Sammy.
Okay.
Because he doesn't call himself evil.
In the mafia is evil. I didn't look at myself as being evil. People say he's crazy for saying that, but I didn't look at myself ever as evil. I looked at myself as a loyal soldier. And I think that was with a lot of guys who were in the mafia. So I think that's a big misconception about the mafia. They're not evil. People who are doing politics and stuff like that, these fucking people are evil because they want to make money. They want to make a scam. They don't give a. The biggest misconception is that everybody in the mafia is evil.
Not everybody is in the mafia is evil, James, but I think it's been proven that Sammy Gravano is evil. Am I missing something here?
Yeah, and so he talked about the scams and all that, but when he was in business, that he killed people to take over their business. I mean, politicians, do they do that? Well, maybe, but we know Sammy did. We know
Well,
Sammy.
here's what
Yeah.
Sammy does. Sammy will say, "Oh, Louis Merlino, you're my friend. We grew up as kids. I want you to meet me. Come meet me." So he comes meet me, and then he sits down. Right, Louis Merlino sits down, and He's sitting there, and someone comes up behind Merlino. As Sammy's looking at Merlino, what do? They shoot Merlino. I'm not Merlino. I'm sorry. Cut me off when I get the wrong name. Melito. Okay.
You're talking about Louis
Now I'm killing
Melito.
Merlino.
Louis Melito. I got confused first. I thought you were doing a
No,
scenario.
just say Lee. Shut up. Get back to the right name.
I don't think Merlino would show up
No.
like that. But no,
Yeah,
Louis
Merlino will go,
Melito.
F you, I ain't showing up. I don't trust you.
Harvey does. Sammy will get his, but
Yeah. So he shows up and okay. Or Sammy says to DiBernardo, hey, come down, come see me and old man Peruta, and we'll hang out and have coffee. Okay,
Yeah.
Sammy, it sounds safe. He goes down, sits down. Old man Peruta comes up behind him, puts a couple bullets in his head, and they never see either body ever again. Sammy, that's evil. That's something you can never get over. That is like if you're not willing to admit that's evil, that means you got a spot in hell waiting for you, doesn't it?
yeah, I mean that's always been the problem is that if he could be compassionate, he could say I shouldn't have done that, show some sort of remorse on that. That would be something that I think that a lot of people could maybe accept, but the problem is that again, I just can't get past the thing with Alan Kaiser. I'm sorry, I just can't. An innocent kid and the disgusting stories he's saying that I just don't understand. Just continuing to put the knife into that poor family over and over again with that. And
that's the OC Shorts thing. Then OC Shorts got mad, but OC Shorts does good work.
He does,
but the fact of the matter is you did have him on, so you got to deal with that. That's just part of the game. It's not going to affect you. Unfortunately, no one gives two shits about the informants. They're stronger than ever. People don't want to hear that, but they're stronger than ever because they're united. And they're showing up with very bad outfits and hanging out in pictures. So, but it's a good thing that Michael Francis wasn't in that picture because it would have made worse because Michael Francis would have showed up with a beautiful suit and they would have showed up there. But Gene Barolo is going to say, hey, that shirt cost me $500 t-shirt I had on. And I'm like, if you can wear a $500 t-shirt and then have someone call it cheap.
That's too funny. Yeah. Well, I'm sure.
I didn't know that was a $500 shirt until FBS was doing his show and he was talking about his shirt and the name on it and how much it costs. Even FBS said, if anybody thinks I would ever spend $500 on a t-shirt, they're crazy. Would you spend $500 on a t-shirt?
Hell no. I just don't. I don't understand. You know what's weird in this genre? It's just something that's to me a little humorous. Why is it people worry so much about the clothes that other people wear? I've heard people say, "Oh, that guy, that's not a real polo shirt. That's a polo association shirt and stuff like that." Who cares, in my opinion? But I think it's just the problem is when if you try to pretend like, "Oh, I'm this, this gangster with all this money," and
I got to show
dressing
you see
down.
that? Okay, you see this, people? That's a t-shirt. It's a black t-shirt. I was wearing that 3 years ago when I came on, and you guys used to make fun of it. That's one time I came on with a stack of black t-shirts. And I said, yeah, okay. Because they were saying I was wearing one because they were all black t-shirts. The reason I wore black t-shirts is because I was fat. Fat people wear black.
Now that the shirts won't even hang, they're trying to.
Look at this now. Look. That's an old black t-shirt. And this is this shirt I can put over my head. I can't button it. It was a time I couldn't button it around my belly, but now I can.
I mean, it's just to me, it's Joey was, he's being funny. He's trying to, put a little bit of humor into it. That's his way of entertaining, and so, but at the same time, it is kind of crazy to me to spend $500 on a t-shirt.
Yeah, Joey Merlino reminds me of Tony Pizza, but he's able to control himself. Tony Pizza can never control. I shouldn't even have Tony Pizza in this conversation, but Tony Pizza says some funny shit sometimes.
He does.
Joey Merlino says some funny stuff. But the problem is with Tony Pizza, you get the funny stuff, then you get the psychotic Tony.
Yeah, the racist stuff, all that.
Which, and it's kind of funny when you when you think about it. And
Mm-hmm.
James, what do
Yes.
you have planned for this channel? Tell people exactly what you're going to be doing and why they should continue watching.
Sure. So here's what, we're not going to have a lot of big changes, so there'll be some small changes, and it's basically the changes are because it's one person, me, trying to be able to manage all of this. And so
And you're
what's
don't forget your secret partner.
yeah, my
Okay.
secret partner. Um,
Okay.
But no, what's going to happen is, and we'll continue this, is with the shorts. That's a way to bring out mob history in 60 seconds at a time, and so that's going to continue. It might be, there's going to be at least three three, I guess I don't know what you call it, but videos of some sort every day put out there. So it could, if there's a video, then, be two shorts. But, it's going to be three shorts. Probably one short a day might be more of me, talking about what's happening. It might be a little less formal, but the thing is, it's going to maintain, having something out, basically, morning to afternoon and evening, and then that'll continue. All right. The second thing are the long form content. The thing is that what I know and what we've noticed with YouTube, people don't have long attention spans, and so uh, the best way to do these shows, in my opinion, with one person is a scripted 15-minute show twice a week. And it's going to be different themes. It'll be very professional.
What
So
are you working on one right now? And let us
I'm
know what it
working
is.
on one.
Okay. Give us an
Yeah.
example of what it's going to be.
Okay. So it'll be on Tuesdays and Fridays is what it'll be. So, for example, I'm doing one on Joey Merlino. So it's going to be
Get
a
out of here.
deep.
Joey Merlino again?
Yeah, but it'll be a
Okay.
deep dive into his life, and so it's going to be. I'm going to be asking questions and trying to have it more of an engagement of with the audience. So do you think that how can a person that's a ledge mob boss be on YouTube, for example? And we start going through that, but we go through his life, and I try to put together the culture, try to put you there in the story. But it's going to be very scripted, 15 minutes. It'll
It's going to
be
be, or is it
succinct.
going to be something like an OC Shorts type of thing?
It'll be exactly like an OC Shorts
But
type of
better.
thing.
But better. But better.
Yeah, we'll
Make sure you
see.
say
But
that.
well,
Better
what
without an
I'll,
actor,
I
without an
think
English
what the
accent.
difference will be is that I'm going to be engaging the audience maybe a little more. It won't be just me reciting facts or whatever. I'll have a script, but I'll have questions, reflection, stuff for people to talk about, and we'll tackle different subjects and different themes. And so, we'll talk about mobsters in one, maybe lesser known guys, or we'll combine that at times with bigger known guys. We might have milestones where we talk about one event that happened that shaped the mob, but then we'll dig into, like on Fridays, go into the culture more of things that are present day. How's the mob affecting culture and all that. But I'm going to do it in an entertaining way. 15 minutes. We're not going to be um, it's going to be pretty much drama free. I'm,
So you're not going to let anybody do to you what they did to me and put the little cheese there on the mouse trap and pull you in
no,
when you shouldn't be in, when you shouldn't
no.
be on here fighting with people.
Right. And people may not, some people will like it, some people won't. That's fine. I feel that for the
But they
most
love your
part,
shorts. Why wouldn't they like
thank you.
a longer version of a short? I
And that's
mean,
what it's going to be. It's going to expand that. But then the other thing, and this is what I'm excited about, my goal is twice a month. Maybe have to start off with once a month, but basically having interviews.
and
And these will
your
be,
first interview, are you allowed to announce it yet, or are you
I'm
going to
going
wait?
to wait on that. I just want
Is
to
it a
get the
big
date.
person?
It's a
Is it a big
big,
person?
very, very big person in this genre, and it's going to be a very, very big name, and so
Yes.
I'll say that.
And they've already committed to you to
They've-
doing this.
there's already a
Okay.
commitment there.
Okay.
We've got a time frame of, the first part of March to do this. I just want to get the exact time. So those would be dropped on a Sunday. So those would be maybe twice a month. But what I want to do is actually have a lot of even authors, have people that are in the not informed. I'm not going to put low lifes into this, but I'm going to have people that have relevance, that can bring interesting dialogue and stories to this thing.
Okay. Besides that, any other plan? Well, here's what I like to make a commitment to you for. I like to once a month do a video on Sammy Gravano and give it to James to put up.
Okay.
And James, is that good with you?
That's fine.
And I'm gonna basically, it's gonna be, I'm gonna call it something like say April, Sammy in April, and we're gonna put up I'm gonna do a nice 20-minute video, send it to James, and say, James, there you go, piss Sammy off. And also, if James gets a hold of me and says, Lee, I got a story I want to do.
Yeah.
It's, so we'll sit here and we'll do a story maybe once in a blue moon, very blue moon. It's, I'll be like Johnny Carson coming back to visit what's his name? Jay Leno. Yeah. So,
yeah.
Okay. But here's what I like to say.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you finished because I'm going to finish.
No. What I was going to say is, at the same time, we're making the changes here. I don't want people to think, that, we just have this, there's a falling out or anything weird like that. It's just, there's too much going on. And I recommend, I ask everyone, please go to Wrestling with the Devil, and we've got the link there. Subscribe to it. There's a lot of good, interesting shows. In fact, I think you're going to have a segment, at least maybe every week or so, where you talk about the mob and wrestling.
Yeah, it's going to be like the mob and the impact on wrestling, the old territories.
Yes.
A lot of those were mobbed up. We're going to talk about that, especially the ones up in Boston and stuff like that, and the ones down south. They had the Dixie Mafia and stuff. We're going to talk about that stuff, but we're also going to talk about we talk about here with Evil that's on with the Informants, some of the stuff they've done, but we're also going to talk about Evil in wrestling, what these wrestlers' lives were like, the destruction of their lives, the suicide, the drugs, everything. It's very entertaining.
It's going to be better than Dark Side of the Ring. People that watch Dark Side of the Ring.
Dark Side of the Ring kisses Vince McMahon's ass. Lee Cole does not kiss Vince McMahon's ass. And with that, I also like to say, I want to thank people that made this channel where it is now. Because without you, a lot of you hated me and you came back and you stayed here. And so I like to make a special thanks to that. I want to make a special thanks to James Proctor, who kind of got me on the right path. Okay. And that's very important. I want to say thank you to Angel Gotti, who became a friend of mine. And once I'm off the mob genre, I'm going to be happier because I can have a relationship with Angel Gotti that I don't have to worry about this mob stuff, which would be better for me. And also, I like to thank Jeff Canarsie. Jeff Canarsie gets a lot of BS around here, but let me tell you something. You can't knock his knowledge. Whether you believe the things he says about himself, that's up to you guys. But you can't knock his knowledge and his skills. Jeff Nadeau, you can't knock his knowledge or his skills. I have my moments with Jeff, but Jeff is a pretty smart guy himself. Tom LaVecchia, smart guy. If I need to know something, I will get a hold of Tom LaVecchia. That's another person that I would like to thank. FBS. As much as him and I do not get along, we'll never get along. He always kept me on my toes, and he taught me how to fight a good battle, let's say.
Yeah, a lot of entertainment, right?
A lot of entertainment, yes. And to any of you other guys that gave me that entertainment, if you want to attack me now, I'm not going to be around. I don't give a shit. So do whatever you want. Have at it. So, there's other people that I know that I'm forgetting.
I
But
think Danny Trio actually.
Danny
He did a
Trio
lot.
helped, whether you like him or not. It was did Danny Trio tell some tall tales? Without a doubt. But at the end of the day, he's gone. And people watch his videos all the time to this very day. We
They
look at those
do, I'm
videos; they get
telling you,
300,
they do.
400 views a week. That's why our numbers are so high, because those videos are still watched.
Yes.
And you can go on and on and on. And I've developed some friendships in here with people, and there's some people that I like that other people don't like, and it's the same way. It's a reverse thing too. It's
Yeah.
just the way it is. But and then Tony B has always been there for me, has given me so much information and helped build this show with knowledge. And I like to thank him. And Renee, he's from California. I pick up the phone, talk to him, and never really, we've had a little, once in a while, we had a little bump in the road, but we haven't in a long time. And he's a true friend. And with that, if I missed any of you people that have been true friends to me, I am sorry. I apologize about that, because it's hard to remember everybody at one time. But most of all, I like to thank my family. I love them very much. They've been very supportive. They think I'm crazy to be in the mob genre, and now they think I'm even crazier to be in the nutty reddish wrestling genre. With that, I like to say goodbye. Love all you guys, and thank you for everything. James, good luck from this point on.
Thank you so
With that,
much,
people,
Lee.
I like to say goodbye. Take care.
Take
That's
care,
it.
everyone.